is absolutely wild as Vern Gagne's All-Star Wrestling goes coast to coast and continent to continent. The greatest wrestlers in the world.
He may be an apprentice carpenter, but I guarantee you he is a seasoned ring veteran.
I've been hit with bar stools, bar rags, barmaids.
I'm talking to you.
They're scared that Hulkamania's still running wild. Oh, yeah. I got a big fat wife and 9 kids at home, and I gotta feed them.
And take a look at Jesse the Body in real life.
Open your hand once, if you would.
You want to see it?
This is absolutely unbelievable. Totally, completely out of control.
He's coming in over the top. Hey! Look out!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to a special bonus edition of AWA Unleashed, along with everybody that is listening on News Talk 830 WCCO. My name is Chris Tubbs. We have got an absolute treat for you. And, well, no, it's not Mick Karch. Sorry,
What do you
Mick.
mean? What do you mean? What?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hate to break it to you, but I see you every week. You're not the guy. You're not him.
All right, I'll let it go this week.
All right, you kind of let you let it go every week.
Yeah.
We have got a special bonus edition here because last weekend, or if you're listening on CCO, a week and a half ago, we were at SummerSlam at US Bank Stadium. And it was a fantastic event put on by WWE. One of the marquee matches that everybody here was looking for and anticipating was the Intercontinental Championship match between Penta and, we like to say, one of us, Chad Gable. You say the word one of us, it's like the secret password to get into Pee Wee's Playhouse, right? Yeah. Everybody's like, yay! Well, one of us, Chad Gable, won the Intercontinental Championship, and you had a chance to talk with him just ever so briefly when we were at TakeOver, and it was a fantastic weekend. And I'm thankful, Mick, that we have an opportunity to do something really special today.
We certainly do because, one of us is great. Those are 3 words that I love, and also 3 more words, it's about time. And our guest, ladies and gentlemen, one of us, and it's about time. He is the new Intercontinental Champion, Chad Gable. Chad, how are you, sir?
Gentlemen, what an introduction. Thank you so much for having me. I am great.
You are more than welcome. And I got to tell you, first of all, Chad, what a pop, as they say in the business, not only when you entered US Bank Stadium, but when you won the championship. The place exploded, and the history of Minnesota wrestling, the legacy continues. Not only going way back to Vern Gagne, but right up through Brock and yourself. What did it feel like, first of all, coming out to that hometown? Absolutely heroes welcome.
You guys touched on something important there when you said the one of us thing and how important that is. Now, I don't know if it's just a Minnesota thing, but I've noticed that so much more lately, even about myself. When I came home for this, and I had so many people the whole time saying, hey, welcome home, good to have you home, and like, do it for Minnesota. Man, my sense of pride just swelled almost to a degree that like, I was like, man, I'm too prideful here. It's like, it feels so good that our community is just so supportive, and that the traditions and our legacy in pro wrestling as a state is still obviously thriving the way it always has. And it felt so good, and you could really feel it in the building that night, I think, both on the entrance, throughout the match, and all the way through to the finish, as you guys mentioned.
Did you feel, as it kind of got a little bit closer, Chad, and you kind of knew that this was going to be one of the marquee matchups, did you feel more pressure that was going to be put on because it was at US Bank Stadium?
I say I put the pressure on myself. I don't feel like anybody else or external sources were putting any unneeded pressure on me, but I did put it on myself. But I also, like, I consider that kind of pressure a privilege, right? Like, not everybody gets that kind of pressure, so you have to deliver. And I had said for a long time what I was capable of, what I thought I was capable of. And so for me to put something like that out in the universe saying that I can win a singles championship, I can be a singles guy in WWE. I said it so many times that to me it was like, okay, if you don't deliver this time, you're just going to be the boy who cried wolf. You know, you keep saying this stuff over and over all these years. People are going to stop believing in you. So for me, it was basically, yeah, now or never. And man, I'm just so happy we delivered.
Yeah, I was at my daughter and I were at a Raw at the X a few years ago when I think you were in a championship program. And I walked away and I was so pissed that you didn't. I don't know if it was Sammy or was Gunther or who it was that had the IC title at that point. And I was so deflated walking out because I'm like, here's a guy that has done everything that has been asked. And when is he going to get the opportunity to get the championship that we all think that you have more than rightly deserved? And I guess the payoff, I mean, to do it at maybe the biggest show that this state has ever had, I'm glad to see that it finally came full circle there.
Yeah, it's so humbling now to look back at it all because, I mean, I was right there with you, right? I was frustrated, but I kind of stopped telling myself that I deserved anything like a long time ago because you're going to torture yourself thinking that, you know. I am humbled by the people that say I deserve things and that I've worked hard enough and earned it. But I don't let myself buy into that because otherwise I feel like you may end up just getting either really jaded or really complacent. And so I just kept striving, man, and like trying to make it happen, believing. And like you said, now it's full circle and it's like it worked out better than it ever could have because had I won it from Gunther back then, it would have been a great moment. But would it have been as big of a payoff in my home state, with my family, with my kids who had their hearts broken because I lost it? But now it's like they made my whole character, my family, we all got made whole, you know, in the end of the day. It's like, I don't know, man, God writes better stories than we ever could somehow. It's like the injuries and the circumstances that led to this. Just we could not possibly write it like that. It's just crazy.
You know, and before Mick gets another, I want to tell everybody the reason you're not seeing him is because he's on the road. He's actually doing things that are outside of wrestling. So he's kind of in he's some places where the video, the connection isn't available, but the audio is great. So I just wanted to kind of let everybody know that not technical issues. It works out better this way right now for Chad to be joining us via audio only. Go ahead, Mick.
Yeah, Chad, I was going to say, you know, listening to you talk about how you had always believed in yourself and the frustrations and what have you, and you always thought that you could be a singles wrestler. You know, not stroking you here or anything, but, you know, on the podcast here, we have said so many times over the past couple of years, Chad Gable is the guy. I mean, and to me, and I've been around this business so damn long, I truly believe you're the best in the world. And I told that to Chris. So I'm not saying it just because you're here. I think from a personality standpoint, from your in-ring capabilities, from your all-around persona, I think you're it, buddy. And to finally be recognized and finally get what you deserve in the business, it's like when I walked out of that, I'm kind of jaded. I've been around this business a couple of minutes.
Sure.
I was genuinely excited for you and the crowd. We were looking forward to your match the whole week. We talked about it. It was going to be the showstopper, the show stealer, and it was. And good for you. And again, as I said at the outset, it's about time.
Mick, that means the world, and I consider you a peer, having been in the business for so long. And I tell this to my wife all the time that, you know, the fans' comments and appreciation it means the world to me. But when it comes from my peers, at that level, it means even more. And, I've experienced that a lot over the past couple of months, going back to the mask versus mask match in Mexico that I did. I had some of the things my peers have said to me have just taken me back to, like, it's almost brought me to tears, to hear people say not only what you just said, like that they consider me one of the best wrestlers in the world. JBL said that too, which is insane because I've always looked up to him. But like just a number of my peers that said, man, the stuff you did, it reminded me what I loved about wrestling. It tugged on my heartstrings, my emotions to a degree that it just hadn't happened in so many years. And I know what they mean when they say that, because like I remember when I was a little kid and watching Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth have this moment in the ring that just did something to me emotionally that I couldn't quite explain. I was so young, but wrestling did that to me. And to have my peers now telling me we're adults now, and we can be jaded to this business because we're just around it so much on the hamster wheel, but that they felt that raw emotion again that they remember feeling when they were a little kid. I don't know that there's like a higher compliment I could be paid. So I want to thank you guys for that.
You mentioned that mask versus mask match in AAA. Mick and I have gone on record to say that is one of the best matches that I have seen over the last several years. I've said when wrestling is done right, it is the best story and the best entertainment in the world. And the match that you guys put on was something that I could sit and watch on a loop, and I could just be entertained and amazed. When you walk away from that match, what are you feeling when you kind of put that part of your career, you put that to bed, but you know that, at least in my opinion, as an outsider, the payoff, and it was all worth it to have that sort of an ending?
Yeah, like you said, I was putting a character to bed there, right? Or burying my version of that character. But at the same time, now, after the match, I realized, man, I finally did what I've been looking to do for a long time in this business, which is leave something that I could call part of my legacy, right? That I can be proud of, which I don't think up to that point I had done yet. I had won tag team championships and things like that, but nothing that I would say I want to look back on and have people remember me for this. And I got it that night with the mask match. I think it's going to live on as part of my personal legacy forever. And it's something that I can say I'm really proud of. The whole thing, again, circumstantially, none of it would have happened if all the stars just hadn't perfectly aligned. So I was very, very lucky, very fortunate. And the gravity of that whole thing is just not lost on me. It was pretty special.
Chad, I know you don't have a lot of time here, but I just want to address something. You said that the stars were aligned. Well, you aligned them. I mean, that's the thing. If anybody has been a most valuable player type for the WWE over the past couple of years, you've done everything that you were asked to do. You have been every character. You have nailed every character and every persona that was requested of you, and you've done it to the nth degree. And I just think, it was like this groundswell of people that were just waiting to explode for Chad Gable because they appreciated what they were seeing on the screen. They can see you as a human being.
I think it was the respect for the person, not necessarily the wrestler.
Absolutely.
And people got behind, at least my impression, Mick, people got behind him because of who he is, who he was, what he's been through, and what we know he can be in terms of being one of the top guys, which he very clearly is.
No question about it, Chris. And also, I mean, not only did you see the person, but you saw the wrestler. You saw somebody who was a throwback to when the business was all about wrestling. Mm-hmm. And again, I said a couple of minutes ago, Chad, and I truly believe this. I think you're the best in the world. I think the entire package that you bring to the screen is just phenomenal. We want to wish you all the success in the world. You've earned this, my friend, and just stay healthy going forward.
That's the key, right? Getting older, that's the key. Just keeping yourself healthy and moving. You guys, those compliments mean the world to me. I can't tell you how humbling it is. And I'm going to just keep trying to hold it together for Minnesota, man, because we got a legacy to carry on here. So doing my part.
Thank you, my friend. Well, we do have a legacy in wrestling. The Super Bowls and the Stanley Cups. That's another thing. But yeah, keep the Minnesota flag.
Mick, why'd you have to do Mick?
I
It was
know.
going so good.
I know. I had to bring up the sore spot, but you're a shining light, buddy, and all the success in the world to you. You, as they say, the cliche, you deserve it. You've earned it, and it's been our honor to have you on this program.
This is my pleasure, guys. Thank you so much. I mean that.